Hi, my name is Jacob Adams, and I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level in their body, energy, clarity, self-acceptance, and integration with their entire strategy of performance, right? So let me ask you a question. Have you ever struggled with getting to the next level and not knowing why? Not known why, or maybe suspected why, but maybe really you thought maybe that wasn't it. Maybe the idea that came to you hasn't been affirmed by your external world, or maybe people placate you and they say, it can't be that, right? I know if you're like me, you definitely have experienced that, and I'll give you a clue. It has a lot to do with the temptations in your life. The temptations, placations, a lot of the time it sounds like this. Well, you've done so well so far, so you deserve, so fill in the blank. You've done so well in your diet, and say you want to get in better shape, right? You've done so well in your diet this week, so you deserve some ice cream and some pizza. You deserve a trip to the buffet, so you deserve, right? Or maybe you want to have a sincere, intimate relationship with somebody that's has honesty or loyalty, etc., and you're not sleeping around. You've turned to God even, but you might say in your head, it might sound something like this. Well, you're single, you're not sleeping around, so watching a little bit of adult entertainment is reasonable because you're an adult, you have needs, right? That could be one of the sentences that runs through your head. So there's all types of ideas that hold us back to get to the next level. Whether if it's getting closer to God, maybe, hey, you know what? I've prayed to God enough, so I don't need to, keep my heart open to God all the time, do I? You know what I mean? So there's always like a little placation typically if you pay attention to the patterns that hold you back. And they don't really seem like they would hold you back because, it seems logical, right? Like 5 minus 1 is 4. You still have 4. So why not say, okay, so 5 minus 2 is 3, right? That's correct. 5 minus 2 is 3. So when speaking of levels here, you would think it to be more mathematically sound like that, wouldn't you? And to an extent, I do believe that is how it really works. It's logical. We persuade ourselves and rationalize it for a reason. Meaning, if you're smoking cigarettes, if you usually smoked a pack a month or a pack a week, and now you're doing a pack a month, well, scientifically speaking, you are, in theory, better off than the person smoking a pack a week, right? If you're only doing one a month. So there is logic to placation and rationalization. There's a logic to it, okay? Now, the only thing is that while that is true, what I have found is that really to get to the next level and not plateau, we really have to push the boundaries, the inner envelope, inwardly as to what it is that really is difficult and challenging for us. We really can't placate ourselves and expect to get to the next level. There really has to be almost like an earthquake of movement within us, like a true shift of consciousness inside that we operate from. Tim Grover says there's a cooler, a closer, a cleaner. A cooler is someone that just gets by, right? A cleaner, the other end of the spectrum, someone that does whatever it takes. So there really has to be this shift of consciousness to get to the next level, like an inner awakening, like a do or die attitude to really break through to the next level. And that is the price tag. Like the other level will not open up to you until you have that attitude and you quit the rationalizations and you just become a new person, right? And that's what I found, because that's really where I'm seeing the biggest growths in my life. Let's say in one area of my life, let's take a relationship, right? Years ago, I had a relationship and it was okay for a while. We went together for several years, but it started off kind of rocky. There was some stuff that she kept at the beginning, so it had started like a little bit shady. Not the worst shadiness, but still, again, there's that rationalization. And then I got angry and held anger over the relationship for a while, so there was resentment, and that just compounded and compounded. It never let trust blossom, right? And while it let other areas of our life grow, there was always that festering wound in the beginning that eventually came to the surface, and we just sort of walked away, and we're like, dude, that's whatever, I'm done with that. What happened there? And so again, it's that the rationalization allowed things to go on, but because it was always at a plateau and ever expanding and growing, eventually we just walked away because there was nothing really there exciting and juicy for us to keep us, this is what we're about, right? Everybody was sort of just coasting along on a plateau, and nobody really wants to be on a plateau. We're designed to expand, we're designed to grow, and that's really what, my entire work is about, consistently, getting to the next level, breaking through plateaus, expansion, stuff like that, right? So that's what I'm seeing, is that if you look at your life, there's always these little sentences that we give ourselves, like, hey, you've been doing so good on your diet, so you deserve a little pizza. You've been doing so good in your monogamy or your celibacy, you deserve a little bit of adult entertainment or porn or whatever. You've been doing so good in your walk with the Lord, you deserve to skip church or not meditate or whatever. You've been doing so good, your family knows you love them, you don't need to talk to them and every day, right? There's always a placation as we go into the next level, like the tension builds in us. Before I even got on this video, I wanted to go to bed. I was like, but I had committed to making the video. So I showered up. I read a quote about John Wood and how he said something about, greatness or great success is not like these great, amazing feats done. It's actually simple, everyday things done really well at a high level, consistently. And I was like, okay, that's it. I committed myself to make the video, and I'm going to get on here and make it, And the truth is, I don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen with this video. Will it be great? Will people like it? I don't know, but the commitment has been made, and I have to push through the discomfort. And I know that fighting the temptation is the idea, and the video really was about temptation before even I thought it would be hard to get here, right? But I was tempted to not make it, and I pushed through it. So I know that in and of itself is already training me to get comfortable with pushing through to make the video. I'm not shy. It's not about shyness. It's really about physical energy sometimes. It's like, I'm just fatigued sometimes, And it's just easier to watch TV or go to bed or just chill, right? So push through. So that's what I found, is that in order to get to the next level, we have to fight the temptation and push through. Okay. What I have seen is that if this is done, that let's just say I did the 180 challenge in January. That was going to be challenging. I knew it would be challenging. I did it though. I pushed through, even through a car accident. I pushed through. I kept eating, and I lost 17 pounds. I wrote a book a few years ago. Pushed through, published it. Feels great to be able to say that. This YouTube channel, pushed through. Right now, pushing through the workout today. I didn't want to work out. I pushed through. Fought the temptation not to. Just pushing through, and pushing through the temptation, ignoring the temptation, committing to self. That is where the wins are, and that's what I've seen in every area of my life. Okay. So we can sometimes allow placation to be sold to us. We buy the idea that placation is okay, and at one point that would be considered the cool kid thing to do. As we're seeing in a more globalized world where people are, accessing our own opinions on social media updates, we start seeing like, I can literally see like on a very binary level, what is placation and who's actually like pushing the envelope to achieve a metric, who's really looking to like have a good attitude and own their mindset and have a positive mindset and not overcome temptations. You can see it in people, the way they look, how well they take care of their body, their overall attitude that says that they're taking care of their inner joy on some level. What is their messages that they're giving? Are they giving negative words to other people? Are they, you see what I mean? Like, this all shows in the way we communicate online. And communication online is a type of communication. Yes, there is trolls. Yes, people do talk stuff, and they're just showing they are doing that. But on another level, people are really expressing who they are. So, I think we're coming from that time where in the past it was more okay to have rationalizations, placations against ourselves, and now we're moving to a time where people really want to get the work done and really achieve the metric. And that's where, no BSing, overcoming temptations comes to play. So here's some ideas as to how to overcome temptations. One is to identify what are your top 1 to 3 temptations, okay? What are your top 1 to 3 temptations? It could be eating out burgers. It could be watching adult entertainment or watching stuff that's negative. Listening to rap music that you think is just about, bitches and hoes and money and stuff that's just sort of like not giving you a good attitude towards life. I don't know. It just giving, what is your temptations? I'm just kind of going for the easy ones here. It could be that you are a jealous person, and every time you go to work, you're jealous of this girl or something. I don't know. Like, there's all types of things that you could be struggling with or not struggling with, but aren't the best for you. The first thing is to identify them. Number 2 is, how would it make you better to overcome them? In other words, if you were to overcome these temptations, how would it make you a better person? You have to understand that, because there's really no point to overcoming one. You're not going to have the fuel to overcome this temptation that's basically in your body, in your mind, if you don't know what's on the other side for you. Okay, be very clear as to what, mastering, for example, my sexual energy is one of my big goals, like just mastering it, having it zoned in. Why? Because I want to have a family one day. I want to be loyal to a person one day, not be like, if I getting married to somebody, I don't want to be, cheating on them. I want to master my sexual energy, right? Not be that guy, like, not committed. Does that make sense? So there's a reason for it. It's not just master my sexual energy. Like, what's the reason for it? Okay. And I give you sexual energy because I could kind of cut. Well, I already mastered donut. I don't really care about donuts or, pizza. I can eat occasionally. I'm not too into it. Who can hold you accountable? This is a big one, because, like, the truth is that if you're not, a coach comes into play here, because we're living in a world of placation, rationalization. There's markets for everything. There's strip clubs. There's dispensaries. There's bars. There's all types of restaurants, buffets, things that are going to placate you and tell you it's okay to engage in certain things that aren't the best for you. Now, it doesn't mean that buffets or weed dispensaries don't have their place or their time for people, like, say someone's ill or they really need the medication. Like, I'm not throwing shade on those things. I think there's a time and place for everything. I'm saying for you, what is holding you back? That's why what's holding you back, and you have to really be honest with yourself, because no one's going to be honest for you. That's the world we're living. No one's going to make the decision for you what's good for you. That's what being an adult is. You make the decision for yourself. That is what an adult is. What will it cost you, or what will you lose if you don't deal with this? What will it cost you, or what will you lose if you don't deal with it? Okay, for some of you, if you're eating terribly, it can mean you lose your health. You become diabetic, and then you end up on insulin, and your energy goes to crap, and you could have changed that about your life, but you didn't. So you lose your health, right? What is it going to be? What will you lose if you don't change this pattern, this temptation, if you don't overcome it? Are you able to focus on developing what you want? It's a good question. Are you able to focus on developing what you want? throughout the day, a lot of people are going to want to get into your attention, into what you should do this, you should do that, you should eat this, you should do that, you should watch this. Thank you for watching this video, for example. I hope that it helps you achieve what you want. But are you able to master your mind enough to focus and keep your mind centered on things? If you drift away, bring it back. And if you don't have that skill, I highly encourage you to try meditation, because the ability to focus and keep your mind centered on an objective is so essential. Understand there are highs and lows. Understand there are emotional highs and lows. The key is consistent growth over time. And this, again, is using rationalization on itself, meaning like, yes, commit to 100% mastery, and understand that you may not achieve that. It's very seldom that anyone's going to achieve that complete, clear-cut mastery. But with patience, grace, faith, persistence, over time, look at if you're improving. I look at my life 3 years ago, or 2014. I was very different. I was addicted to a relationship, a codependent relationship. We were arguing. It was toxic. I couldn't get away. I was addicted to that sort of intensity. And here we are, all these years later. My main goal is to submit my application for Kriya Yoga, get down to a very tight, very good waistline in my physique. I look pretty good these days. I'm ready to date again after all these years and have a more healthy discussion. I know the red flags when I see them. So there's a lot more going on health-wise, but it took a lot of years to get here, 3-4 years to be able to say that. So over time, is there growth? Okay. So understand that. And so as we close up, look, temptations are going to happen. When the mistakes come, when you fall, you make that mistake, pray, as the prayer goes, deliver us, Lord, from temptation. Understand that you are going to make some errors. The key is to keep on going at the end of the day and keep committing and keep diving in and becoming better day by day. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and subscribe if you like. More importantly, comment below, and I'd love to answer any of your questions. This is Jacob Adams. We'll see you next time. Bye.